Recording in progress.
Funky.
Well, I know it's a little. Can I get approval of the agenda, the consent agenda? Oh, before we get approval, I'd like to amend the agenda, moving the oath of office for the new officer to 10A since they're out on the call. So I'd like approval of the amended agenda, the consent agenda in the minutes from November 20th.
So moved.
Second. Okay, any discussion?
I'm gonna do friendships with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, opposed?
John too, I guess.
Okay. Motion carried. Okay, under correspondence, in your packet, you will see some information, for the council regarding elected officials essentials. We have some, council members who are not compliant with our insurance company. That would be Karen, you have not ever taken it. Chris Halpin, you have not. Tony, you have not. Ian, expired in 2018, and Steve, you have not. Those are required training, as you sit on the council, so please look at that. You can do it virtually if you have any questions. If you want to actually attend, let one of us know. Kayla can get you set up. You can apply, we can apply for a scholarship, so there's no cost to attend. So, but those must be done, please. Okay, next on the agenda is the items from the public, which is LeMay's garbage service presentation. Before we start the presentation, I'd like to introduce a couple things. I'd like to introduce Roger, who is the regional director for LeMay Enterprises based out of Aberdeen. But before we start, I want the public to understand this is an informational sharing only. There's absolutely been no decisions made. This is an opportunity for you to hear what LeMay's have to say. For the council, council has not seen this presentation either. This will be an opportunity for them to see the presentation and an opportunity for you to each speak if you would like. You get 3 minutes to speak. There will be no interaction between the public and the council. So you are welcome to express your opinion politely, one way or another. But that is, again, no decisions have been made. And for what it's worth, because there's a lot of rumors on this street, nobody, even if this should be approved, which if it is, there's no decision. The council will ultimately make that decision, and it will probably be sometime after the first of the year. Nobody will lose their job. This is not a job elimination change. So I don't know where that came from, but it's always something that's been talked about. So that being said, I will allow Roger to go ahead with the presentation. We're going to dim the lights because we do have a PowerPoint presentation. So
apologize for that. So as the mayor was saying, I'm Roger Swallender. I'm district manager for the Mays out of Grace Harbor, and also district manager over Peninsula Sanitation, which surrounds Raymond at this time. Tracy Elders here is our office manager. She has a lot of knowledge and information about the billing and all the different aspects of that's available. And then Ned Bittner, who is actually the site manager for the Peninsula out of Milwaukee. And the reason that Ned's here is to show that we have a lot of support around the area. We have a lot of depth. We work hand in hand, so we'll get into that more also. This is kind of a informational, like the mayor was saying. We're just here to propose partnership with the LeMay's and the city of Raymond, and we'll just go through that and just propose and show what we got here. So there might be a lag between the slides because you don't know. Yeah, there we go. So first of all, I'd like to start out. Who is LeMay? I think all of you have seen LeMay or know for the majority of LeMay has been around. So, LeMay the business was started by Harold LeMay 67 years ago or so. He built a little empire. He ended up being, having services in Pierce County, Centralia, Pacific County. Pacific Disposal, which is in Lacey and Olympia. Kind of build a little organization there. With that, we've recently added Peninsula Sanitation, and I think you guys are aware of the services they've done around here. They're kind of our family also. So you can see here, we have a division that we call Rainier Division within our company. And you can see in the outlined area, the areas that we do service either with garbage pickup or with the transfer stations of various different types. As you can see, it's pretty expanded area, and it gives us a lot of depth for being able to provide whatever services are needed and backup services also. So one big thing is that we really pride ourselves in customer service. And with that, Aberdeen in Google reviews scored 4.6 on stars. There's 4 different comments there from Google reviews. One is impressed with the flexibility. We have recognition for picking up extras for the recycle, gentleman service, service of the team. There's various different aspects that we've been in our customer service that people have recognized through the reviews. Now, to add that is, Waste Connection. So how does that play into the factor here? Well, in 2008, Waste Connections, which is the 3rd largest refuge company in North America, bought LeMay's. And of course, everybody has a dreaded fear of a corporation outside running everything, and it's an evil thing, and it can be. But with us, I really feel, and I was around 2008, and I walked through all that. It really gave us as LeMay's a lot of depth and resources that you'd never have without the large corporation. Garbage business has really changed a lot over the years. I've been involved in it in 31 years. Started pushing garbage with a cat on the landfill, so I've seen a lot of changes. I'm not new to that. But the key thing with Waste Connections is the decentralized partnership. So with that, I'm a small town. I come from a small town, and this is what Raymond is also. You want to hold on to your identity. Totally understand that. And so does Waste Connections. They want LeMay's and the businesses that they put together to hold on to that hometown feel. Every area has its own culture, environment, and just atmosphere, different things. And Waste Connections wants every site. We operate as one site, but we have the backing of the larger corporation. So with that, I think I've showed that we have a lot of backing. We have a lot of experience, different areas. We've been doing it for quite a while. And, in 2019, we started partnered with South Bend. And in that transition, we took over. And I really feel that it was a smoother transition than most. There may have been some hiccups, but it shows that we have transitioned in the same type of situation, and it is possible to do. And as I spoke, the key to a smooth transition is a plan. Right here, we have a high-level laid out plan. This would not be a quick transition. There's lots of steps that we'd have to go through. Big thing is getting the carts and equipment and stuff. If anybody's in the industry or any type of industry, nowadays nothing comes fast. Everything's put off. Nothing's on the shelf anymore. So that will be a big factor in this. But we have a laid out plan here that'll help us through if this partnership was to go through. So here's a few benefits I'd like to point out, I feel are benefits to the city. One thing is reduce risk. Right now, having a truck out there, I believe there's probably people in here that have their own trucks or have their own businesses. And the liability that's out there is huge, whether it be an accident in the truck or an L&I accident. Those are things that really can cut into the bottom line. Reduce costs, obviously, labor, you wouldn't have the capital investments, truck maintenance, billing, everything we would take care of. Franchise fee, this is established in part of the partnership, excuse me. So we would be paying the city a franchise fee, which would go right into the city's coffers for however they plan on using that. So it'd be a direct kind of a added extra to the city for that. No cost garbage to the city, cans, anything that's in the city that is owned by the city, that's under the contract. Expanded services, and that's the one thing that I'd like to really point out is we can expand. We have so many more services than what you're capable of having right now. One is the recycle, and it's by subscription, but it is a possibility. It's a part of the proposal. We do offer larger containers. We offer front loads, just different services that I think I'd really like to amplify that part of the depth of the services that we could provide. And benefits to the residents. Customer service, identify that Aberdeen's has a 4.6 Google review. We have the rolling carts that we would provide the customers as part of the service. You never have to buy another garbage can. That is all part. If it's damaged, whatever, replace that. Curbside recycling, like I mentioned, safe, well-maintained equipment. We have our own mechanics to make sure that everything's safe that goes out on our roads. Well-trained drivers, we have a training program that is about 2 months long before any drivers put out by themselves. Enhanced customer service tools. There's lots of things on the website, schedule lookups, online bill pay, Waste Wizard, and many, many more. Excuse me about my voice. But one of them is, like I mentioned, the curbside recycling. That I know has been asked for in the area by many people. Right there, you can see the cardboard and the metal, the different things that can go into that curbside. This is a cart that's on the side of the road at your residence, and we pick it up every other week. Like I mentioned, there's online tools and resources, robust website. You can find lots of information on there. There's a free app to set reminder notifications. If you're one of those people like me that forget to put your cans out, it'll notify you. Service calendars to tell you when your next pickup, online bill pay, virtual assistants, and a Waste Wizard. The Waste Wizard is kind of cool because a lot of people ask, well, is this recyclable? What do I do with this? And you go in Waste Wizard, you put in there, inner tube, whatever, and it'll tell you how the proper way to dispose of it is. The summary, like I've been trying to, kind of expand on is experience. We've been in the business a long time. We have a lot of depth. We have a lot of resources. Ned's here to back us up. And just in the Aberdeen place, so we have a lot of trucks that are available to back things up. If we were doing your service, there'd never be a problem with, well, we don't have enough trucks, we can't get there, whatever. They'll always be taken care of. Local responsible, thank you. Local responsible, reliable, and safety focused team. We've been in the area, we know the business. We have no intentions of doing anything but maintaining the culture that you have in this area. Safety focused. Our number one operating value is safety. I know that every company in the world will tell you that. Might be lip service for some, but not for us. We really we insist on that with all our drivers and everybody. Smooth service transition. We've been through it. Really feel that we can do it again. Dedicated community partner. Right now, we come down here. We sponsor the Carriage Museum. I go to the fair every year and sponsor kids and youth livestock auction. Every place that we service, we really try to give back. It's something I really strive for. Harold LeMay, when he built the business, it was a family operation. And he wanted to instill that in every business that he dealt with, is a family operation. Response to the needs of those we serve. We have many services out there. We have capability of adding to them. We have capabilities of taking them out if they're not worthy. We have a lot of depth. Decentralized structure. Like I said, we operate as our business in the area. So we're not just a corporation that's coming in with New York ideas, California ideas. This is local ideas, but we have the backing and the support of the nationwide corporation. I just want to thank you, appreciate your time. This was just informational. There's lots more information we can give you, through questions and stuff, but, we really try to give back to the community. We really I like the decentralized, maintaining the culture of the area, and we're not out to, we're just giving the proposal for a partnership, so. Thank you.
And I think that most of you have picked up that there is a printout of rate comparison based on what rate will be, what Raymond's rates will be effective in what. So what we'll do now is we will start with the first person on the list, who is Jennifer Berry. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. I have friends that live in South Bend, and the mayor took over in South Bend a few years ago, and they have mentioned that their prices have increased every year since they've taken over. And I'm happy with paying my $22 a month to the city of Raymond. And I live in a neighborhood with a lot of elderly people who are on a fixed income, and they agree with me, but they were not coming on into this dark.
All right, Jeff Williams.
We'll go with customer service. I don't think we could. Yeah. I think he.
What I think would have signed in out, Jeff. Okay, well. Yeah. Okay.
This is the good local job that we have with good benefits. And yeah, it's great service, but it's always been great service. Like we've always had a good garbage truck driver. And the thing is like I will walk to someone's house, like if they have their trash out every week, all the time, I'm gonna walk over to their house, like if I can see the can and grab the can, dump it, leave it where it should be. But as long as they're not doing it every week, it's not a big deal. And then we have, people who can't make it out to their can, or they come out in the morning and they have an extra bag, and I'm meeting them halfway and I'm like, hey, like I can help you. Like I'll grab that can. It's just a customer service thing, like Jeff said. And I don't know for sure, but I think we would lose our spring cleanup for the truck. Like we have spring cleanup for a week, and you can drive it yourself and it's free. But we also have spring cleanup where the truck does its spring cleanup. And for people who can't make it to the dump, or they don't want to drive, or they don't have a truck. And so that's a really big deal for some people.
And that's just an assumption. That would not necessarily be
for sure. Yeah.
Well, Stan doesn't get it. Well, that was a decision been made, but that doesn't.
I can also deliver dumpsters the day of, people call in, need a dumpster. They need a dump twice a day. I got it. I'm on top of it. Everybody's been on top of it before me. It's just it's a good thing for our community. Thanks.
Yes.
Cassie Weisenberg. Okay.
Out of the city park decision, I think there's a lot of questions my younger generation is asking. Getting answers to some of those questions, and I just hope that more people are able to show up.
Okay, Will Miles?
So, I've never heard of, any problem. We've never had a problem with thirst like that. And so I don't know why we didn't change.
That, it doesn't have anything to do with problems, so
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Did you had ecology blocks?
Oh, yeah, I had something else, but I can do it another.
It's up to you.
Well, okay, so I live in Riverdale and there's that creek that comes down. And when it overflows, it comes right at my property and 2 days ago it flooded. And so I've done what I could do. So me and my friend, my buddy here, put up a fence that will divert a lot of that water. But if I could get like maybe city to plant 2 blocks, concrete blocks or ecology blocks, I'm not sure what they're called, just to divert. Because I have a picture of it. It comes right at my property. If you could divert it, I thought maybe it'd go down the street instead of at my property. And it would be, just a small thing, just 2 blocks.
Come in the office this week sometime and we can take a look at it.
Oh, where's?
Right down here.
Hey, Doug Hill?
Been having 23 years on Lincoln Street. Real enough problems. But my concern is that our infrastructure here in Raymond and in Riverdale and other places, the trucks that they have are too big. They're gonna ruin our road, they're gonna break it down and get an ice frozen, they're gonna crush it. And their trucks are dual axles in the back. That's 20,000 pounds. Some of our roads are marked 10 tons only. Their trucks are too heavy, way too heavy for a lot of our streets and a lot of our roads. That's another concern. And I had so many things at home. Anyway, she's wonderful.
Yes.
She is absolutely wonderful. When she said she needs to help somebody once in a while, she has helped me once in a while. I forget to get it out on Sunday night. She makes sure it's dumped. It's just right there by the drug, and she takes care of that. She's wonderful. I hate to see her lose her position and go somewhere else. This city knows how to communicate with each other and how to take care of each other around us. We've been here, we've done it, and we know how to do it. Hate to see another company come in, never been here before. Try to understand how we do things. So it's just the danger of the streets and the roads. What we need to watch out. Their trucks are way too big.
Okay, Patty Gray?
Just a couple of things. I'm concerned about the same thing. I live in an area where it's a 10-ton limit on the roads on the hill. They never fill the potholes or anything because we're not on a main road. So that's fine, but having a truck of that weight going up my road is going to tear that road up more. And because we don't live on a main road, the potholes don't get filled. So consequently, that problem is going to continue even more. So that's a concern I have. I have a concern for some businesses that get picked up twice a week because they have a lot of garbage, and I don't think they do twice a week pickups. So my concern is some of the businesses won't get the garbage pickup that they need, and things will just be left out. And then you have people rummaging through things. You have the crows and the seagulls going through the garbage. It's left out because it's not being picked up, rats, those kinds of things. I do have a concern on the Aberdeen Highway. As we all know, it's the most treacherous highway in the winter with the ice and the snow. And my concern is what happens if the trucks can't get over and then we don't get our pickup even once a week. Then where are we? What do we do with the garbage that doesn't get picked up because they can't get over here? And again, the potholes are a big issue for me. And I've talked with people in South Bend, and the rates keep going up and up and up, and they're very concerned and don't care for it. So I wanted to make sure that I come and express my feelings about the roads, the pickup amounts, problems on the roads, and garbage being left out because they can't get it picked up. So those are just some of my issues.
Feedback. Chris Christie?
Hi, my only question is, Lovey Garcia, the city does such an amazing job. Why are we changing something that doesn't need to change? That is,
This is an information sharing.
so who called who? Did LeMay call
I-
City of Raymond, or the city of Raymond? called
The
LeMay?
city of Raymond called them.
So why? I should grasp it.
Because
Yes, there is.
there is more to it.
A lot more.
There is very expensive. We are one of only 5 cities left in the state of Washington that do their own. No. But we wouldn't be paying.
We haven't had an LNI.
But we wouldn't be paying. They are the most expensive and long-term claims that the city would generate. And again, it is an informational sharing night only. No decisions have been made. It is ultimately the council's decision to make. We are here tonight so you can express your opinion. We're all here to listen and to learn. So, yes, the city did contact LeMay. I stand by that.
Just don't know why.
Because we are here to see what they can offer and if it can be something that would benefit the city in the long term. Because again, it is very, very expensive.
Is our input truly gonna be
Absolutely.
considered?
Well, I don't know. You've got 5 council members.
Yes.
Absolutely. The council listens to. And the council will be back on the agenda for the council to discuss after the first of the year. I can't tell you when, because we haven't got that far yet. But I, as mayor of the city of Raymond, I wanted an opportunity to bring it to the citizens. South Bend, they chose to just make those changes. That was their choice, not mine. That wasn't my decision to make. But as mayor of Raymond, it is my decision to make, to bring it to the citizens and let you have an opportunity to speak your piece. We could just have made that decision without anybody's input. So the council could have made a decision without any of you being privy to it. But because of how I feel and I want to be transparent, I put it out there for the council or for the citizens, all of you tonight, to express your opinions. And that's it. I mean, that's why you're here, to tell us what you want, or you don't want.
Thank you very much for doing that.
I'm not, I just want you to know why I did what I did. Yes, I contacted them, but I also told all of you, so you could be here.
Thank you very much. It's better than,
Yeah.
but sometimes long-term decisions or, the repercussions of them aren't really active in the moment. And especially in a really tough moment.
And it's just really hot here.
Yeah. So, I think that's one of the and co-op out. And then things don't quite work out, or like people are talking about the basic infrastructure. I mean, take Lake Street. I mean, there's problems with the trucks running over water meters, so anyway, and I've heard the same thing about South Bend as far as the rates and things like that. And once it gets out of hand, out of the city's hands, then there's no control. And personally, all I do is put in a small white bag of garbage because I compost everything, all the vegetables, and then take the recyclables over to the recycling center.
So we're gonna move on to all of our, we'll do your.
Thank you very much.
So, Sherry Oss,
How much does your truck actually weigh?
It weigh up to 52,000 pounds, so, but they weigh, residential are more like, probably 40,000.
And are they good backup people?
Huh?
Okay, where I live, you have to back in. There is no way to turn around. But what about all the water lines and stuff that come across? With the weight of that truck, would it crush those water lines?
That'd be up to 30 something, but at least more.
And the other thing is, if the road is torn up,
according to Eric, who's the city supervisor or the public works director, he said our truck probably weighs more. Or
And he is 23,000.
Say that again.
We're about 30 feet, but we're real.
Oh, yeah.
city,
We don't get the roads amazed. Thank you, Sherry. Okay, Jewel, there's Jewel Hardy. I know you're here for pool. Do you want to wait for a while? Okay.
Pretty picture what he's gonna do. Now, one word says that fight.
Oh, it's all over there. It's all over there. Okay.
But verbal presentation, he had nothing to say about the fight.
Right. And that wasn't him. That was, we kept it separate so I could do a rate comparison and put it out for you to take.
He's fights for the transfer right here in the city.
Yeah, he's right.
Those people out.
Well, we're already raising, so that's good. All right.
Sure.
All right, thanks. Hey, Heidi Keller.
My question would just be, what other jobs are affected by us using our garbage? Just with our, I mean, do we have other public entities, other small businesses that are being supported? I mean, when we have a truck break down, is there a time that maybe their mechanic can't work on it and we take it to a local mechanic? Or do we ship it out of town? I mean, do we have tires that are purchased through a local entity, or do we have tires that are shipped in from someplace else? I mean, I'm curious about other parts of our community that this supports. Our local dollars support local dollars. And so that's where, I mean, we're a community that lives off of local dollars. Our small businesses are local. We try to support. And then here we are, the city entity, a public entity that is supported and created by local funds, is shipping our stuff out of the area.
It's actually it goes right to.
It doesn't go back here, it goes to LeMay.
No, but it goes to Royal Heights. So it gets.
But so we have one family that actually makes that, makes it, without the other.
But I mean, it's just for clarification.
So I just like, so this is just, you just asked opinions, and I am here what the citizens have, and I'm a citizen.
Yes, you are.
Of Raymond. I have properties in South Bend as well that I pay for LeMay services. We started out with, you're gonna reduce your bill at $25 because that's what it's gonna cost for your LeMays. We had a reduction on our city of South Bend bills. A year later, that changed. Our bills in South Bend went up, our LeMays bills went up, and we continue to have increases and increases. And it's constant. So all of these bills will continue to raise, not just with LeMays, but the city will also increase theirs. So you're gonna pay sewer and water, and it's going up. So, and to not lose, I mean, if you're gonna take a whole equation away, to sit here and say that that's not gonna affect the job, it has to affect a job. What's the point of, I mean, why would that person still be there if their job's completely obliterated? There's no point of it. That doesn't even make any sense. So we're gonna find some place to put them, so we just have that money going out to just someone for no reason? That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't, it doesn't factor in common sense. I'm sorry.
And then would the dump eventually close? No. Well, how do you know? Because they use.
LeMay does actually use Royal Heights, the transfer station. But I mean, we just have to, I mean, that's just what I would like you guys to all look into and consider. Because those are big factors. I'm an owner of a small business, so I totally, sorry, Heidi.
Pat Edwards?
Well, I just wanted to ask that district, the LeMay, you know, for multi-generations in my family, I live off the beaten path, and the city of Raymond, he's always came up, picked up my garbage, and generations and generations before, you guys aren't gonna come up my driveway. I don't wanna hump my garbage a quarter mile down to the highway. What are you gonna do about that?
Really have no idea, not knowing your driveway or where it is. I don't even answer that.
Happy.
Okay, is that all, Pat?
I pretty much said part of what I was feeling,
Okay,
and I've heard the same problem. I mean, watching what happens in South Bend with the, you know, the automatic dumpers and things like that, and free branches. I have a friend there who's had problems, and also with the rates, but she's gone, she just she went to 1 month service about 3 hours ago because she was getting sick and tired of the rates. But I just think we should hold it in town, and it gives the minutes, it may be more expensive in certain ways, but it still keeps the garbage service within the hands of the residents. And it's sort of a control thing that I don't think that you really, in the long run, that one really wants to lose, but so it is. And within the presentation, I mean, a lot of the presentation was how good and how much is given back to the community, but it really didn't get down to the nuts and bolts of, you know, pricing. There's nothing about recycling and things. And then within the contract with the city, if it does happen, will there be a clause or something as far as the amount that can, you know, the amount of raise that can happen each year, or, you know, so, but the service has just been wonderful. And I know a lot of people who put out, you know, they may have a rate of 1 can, but they end up putting 3 out there, and the garbage disappears. I mean, it's been a great service, you know. So.
okay, anything else, Richard?
No.
Okay, that's all I have on my sign-up list, so, that will conclude, our public, comment section, and we'll move on to regular business for the city tonight.
Good God, for bringing it up.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you guys are welcome to stay while we do regular business, but there will be no additional discussion about it.
Senior discount gonna stay with it?
Yeah.
We're not doing anything.
Well, I mean, our senior discount.
Yeah.
They-
Make a motion, we adjourn. Make the motion, we adjourn.
Hi, you all.
Right.
Miss Sherry.
Be there.
Jerry. Yep. They also get this. Okay, so next on the agenda is ordinance number 1932. An ordinance adopting the budget for the city of Raymond, Washington for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024. This is the second reading, if I can get a motion.
So moved.
Second. Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Oh, motion carried.
Tony.
And Roger, you guys don't have to stay. Okay, item number 9, ordinance 1933, an ordinance adopting revised appropriations and expenditures to be made in calendar year 2023. This is the second reading. You get a motion
Moved.
and a second.
Second.
Sorry, no, I see, I don't. Here's that.
Which one? The whole reading?
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance number 1933, and the ordinance adopting revised appropriations and expenditures to be made in the calendar year 2023. This is a second reading. Get a motion in a second. I think I have that.
Yeah, I got you, thank you.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 10, ordinance 1934, an ordinance amending sections of chapter 8.12, 14.04, and 12.24 of the Raymond Municipal Code relating to sanitation, water and sewer utility charges and fees. This is a second reading. Can I motion in a second?
Still moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, I think people might want to know what we're doing.
This is in the packets, but this is raising the water, sewer, and garbage rates.
To this right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the garbage rates will be raised to what you're seeing on that piece of paper.
Okay.
Under the city of Raymond.
And I think last week you said it was 4%, right? And the reasoning being that over the past several years, we haven't raised it at all.
Well,
Because of the
because of
pandemic.
COVID and CPI was asked from. Both. We raise every year based on the CPI, and the CPI has been so high that we chose not to, but you will probably see it as long as the CPI stays reasonable, they will be raised.
Is that consumer price index
Yeah.
done by, is it a federal?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and it was up to 13% at
Yeah.
one point.
Yeah.
Which is-
like last year, we did 10%
Yeah,
on
yeah.
sanitation.
Yeah, and the options were 4% to 8% or higher, and we
It was
chose
11, I think, 4 to 11.
11. And the decision was the lowest
Yeah,
amount that we.
4% was the lowest that we
was
could keep everything.
I went to the middle, it was 3, 4, 6, I think, and I chose, they gave it to me. I went in the middle.
Yeah, the 4 would keep everything on an even keel with no changes and things wouldn't be dropped or.
We wouldn't have to lose any
Yeah.
services.
Yeah.
But all our prices have gone up as well as everyone else's.
Yeah, I just wanted to let people know why.
Yeah. That's fine.
Just like, the cost of eggs and butter and milk. Same price, the same thing with dumpsters and water pipe, tires,
Yep.
fuel, the cost of PUD, it's everybody out there, you all feel it, we feel it about 100 times more. So, unfortunately. So, all those, did you guys vote? I don't.
No, we didn't.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Vote. Great. Item number 10A, oath of office, new officer, Jane Madrid, if you'd like to step up. Maybe over there. I, Jane Madrid. Constitution of the law. Raymond. And that I will faithfully and impartially perform and discharge the duties of the office of according to the law to the best of my ability. Congratulations. Okay, department head reports, Fire Chief Bill Didion.
Here. Kind of near, you know, good thing next year. Really excited.
Well, I was gonna say, do you have anybody in mind for maybe doing the paramedic training for next year?
You know, we can see how things go.
All right.
Yeah.
Glad we made you put that back in the budget then.
Absolutely.
I don't know if there's very one, you know, you can log on and see if someone is burning, control burns, say a house being on fire, it could be really beneficial. Twice we found a neighbor's house across the park was on fire, only to run out there through the middle of the darkness to find out it's being burned in like a 50-gallon drum, which is completely legal and understandable, but it can get confusing from any distance. And so there's not, you know, I know we called the fire department as I ran across and I kind of fell over the shoe horses. That's pretty good, but luckily it was a controlled burn. But I mean, if there was some kind of, you know, central website you could go on and look up and be like, okay, before I alert the fire department or run in a panic, you know, we know this is a controlled burn being done just at oddball hours in the evening, might be beneficial.
Thank you, you know, until that day, you're welcome to always call our stations, if you have any questions. If we have information on that, we can share it with you.
Police Chief Pat Matlock.
Well, first of all, I apologize for being tardy. Austin Madrid and I had some business to deal with in our city, so looks like I missed some pretty. But that's okay. That's great. That's why we're here. I'd also like to thank the mayor for the presentation of the budget and everybody for being here and voicing your opinions on whatever may have been tonight. I think I know what it was, but there may have been some more things too. I appreciate that. We've been pretty busy, and we had our parade last night, which was pretty neat. It's the first time it's been on a Sunday, I guess, for a while for us. I'd like to thank the city crew for their hard work and we are having a shot. Hopefully it's not. Also, as far as the parade goes, we were gonna look for some feedback, so one maybe from the chamber on what we could do better or what we didn't do very well as far as our providing traffic safety and things of that nature. I just want to make sure that maybe next year we could get together before that, maybe shorten a few things too. We saw maybe we could probably do better, or maybe it would be a little safer for our citizens.
Yep, for sure.
Any questions or comments?
I'm curious how, people can get involved with some of the things that you have going on. Volunteering or like, how we can get involved.
Well, first of all, during any business hours, come down to the police department, give us a call. We'll get your information, we'll let you know what we have going on. A lot of it is co-jurisdiction, also there's other agencies involved with it, but they could always use another hand. And so if you really want to be involved, that's the first step. We can point you. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Public Works Director Rick Weinberg.
Things, water coordination probably we've been working on that generation. Switch over from gas is done. And we talked about some road grants, and we did receive TIB. Question to put it for this year. On top of the standard TIB overlay. It's going to be for Upper Jackson. We refer to city limits.
Thank you so much for finishing your career in Harvard.
We're working on all of them.
Very wonderful. I didn't know how bad it was until it was done. Great. I really appreciate it. It's about the top.
You sound so excited.
So, mayor's report, I don't have anything really. I'm gonna let you take my. Is it? Any of you? I can look through. Let's play the one with. You know, I love you.
It's kind of clipboard being that it's.
We'll see how we do. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, everybody, and I appreciate voting with me a lot of this participation.
So I'm just gonna read this because in the interest of time, it would be a lot less. So, G and I did go on the webinar a while back, I think. What deficiencies that, we have through the RCO I think that we placed some thoughts in your head. I have another I joined them for 2 hours and we take notes. But the atmosphere today was that they are listening and learning and changing. So they're looking at their criteria portfolios to see if they can work a little different. And they want to adopt some criteria changes. The board processed 2 resolutions today, and one was to adopt criteria changes and approve the weight of each of the criteria. It's much too much to go into understanding right now, but they took their information out of 4,500 surveys, and which included a lot of small towns like us. So they're trying to balance things out a little bit, which is good news. They're going to modify the scope to have a better balance to take care of locations. They're going to simplify the data because it doesn't paint the entire picture. They're looking to community contacts for areas to draw on. They're going to create a pre-application worksheet so that through the worksheet, you can see if you would even qualify to go further. So there's no sense going through with complete application if there's criteria that we don't qualify for. They encouraged us to apply for the COAF grant that's coming up. They're going to do a webinar on the 17th, and the grant application will open in February, February 27th. Outside of that, the city can apply. The COAF, our nonprofit pool, can apply for, but there's regular RCO grants that the city can apply for, and they usually apply in the even years, and then they're funded in the odd years. So there would be some steps to go through to see if there was a match and all that stuff. But anyway, that's down the road. We applied for, the committee applied for the Sustin Foundation in the middle of November. Got this back today that it was refused. So I contacted Karen Blakely, and she thinks that maybe I was given the wrong address, but it said it was refused. It is a good address, so we're going to look into that. Also put in the mail today an application to LB Raymond Foundation for asking for $30,000 for a match so that we can get going on ordering the heaters. As you know, the heaters and the pool cover were the big priority things. The pool cover is going to be covered by warehouses, so half that. So outside of that, going to apply for the Medina Foundation to cover operational, such as some money to do events and fundraising things that would be a smaller amount. And then Melissa, the chair of the committee, also informed that she's got a T-Mobile grant we can look at later. So anyway, we're moving down the road. Appreciate everybody's help, and we'll try to keep you informed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jewel, very, very much. Your work is indispensable. I mean, I'm telling you, you are you're a jewel.
Okay. Tina, you're on, she's on for school. If there's anything you wanted to add. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Jewel.
So, sir, what?
I'm Jason Marshall. Thank you, Mayor Roberts and community, the council members. I would like to ask if there's any way that in the next coming year, when everyone regroups, if you guys would be open to listening to a proposal to have a nonprofit come in and possibly build an overnight shelter meeting some criteria needs not met in the surrounding areas. I know it's a complicated conversation that requires a lot of dialect. There's pros and there's cons. But if it could be privately funded or federally funded, if it can be voluntarily staffed, if there can be, cooperation in locations so that, perhaps everyone's on board. If you guys would be willing to listen to a proposal so that we could come in and maybe meet the needs that aren't being met in some of the surrounding cities or, counties next to us. And that would also provide an invaluable service to Raymond. I'm sure everyone in this room knows that, humans aren't great in desperation, and, there just seems to be needs out there that, despite great social service networks in place, they're falling between the cracks. And if there's a way for a nonprofit to come in and meet some of those requirements and lift some of that burden out off of the police and the fire and eliminate possibly tent fires. Police calls, if there's a place where people can be safe, where we're not separating couples, husbands and wives, and maybe even ability for those whether right or wrong, for homeless with animals. Maybe to find a niche in which we can, house some of these people, overnight, for the night, and then, allow them to go about their business the following day. I'd like to possibly draw up a proposal here, kind of maybe beforehand, or, try to cover as much, ourselves going forward, to come to a proposal meeting pros, cons, location, funding outside of asking the city, et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, it's multifaceted. I know it's, it's a touchy subject, and it creates, its own problems as well as, solutions. But, again, if it's not coming out of the city's dime, if it can be nonprofit or privately funded, and if we could find a place that was in agreement with everyone, that would be a great locale. I can only see it benefiting and strengthening an already strong and amazing thing. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name.
Marshall.
So public comments on current agenda items. Seeing none, we'll move on. Council comment.
Well, I just like to say, I'd like to thank everybody who showed up and put their comments in. It helps us greatly. So
Yes.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Any additional council comments? Sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to Public Works, both of you guys, and of course to our police department and to the firemen with the parade this year. I know moving on Sunday threw everybody off, including me. And I look forward to next year's. It was a greatly attended. It's a really beautiful evening, and everybody seemed to have a really great time. So I'm going to thank you guys, especially Tom, the out with the Christmas tree. And I know that was a new addition that next year will be set up a lot better. So I just want to say thank you all.
We had it under control. Nobody had a single doubt.
You got it.
Any additional comments?
Yeah, I want to say thank you for making this an open discussion, of course, about the news, and thank you for everyone who attended. I I appreciated hearing all of the comments. I think they are valuable. I also wanted to show my appreciation to the theater, who had we had a choir performance there after the parade, and the theater is always a wonderful place to have it. So appreciate all of this.
Thank you. Any additional council comments?
Karen beat me to it, but I was gonna say, but yeah, we did have a great choir concert at the theater. It was very well attended. It was great to see so many people there, even with everything else that was going on that night. That was our biggest fear. But thank you to the theater for always being willing to work with us, and we're very grateful for that. And to the Lady Elks for working with us too. That
looks like
makes
it was quite amazing.
Huh?
Spread.
Oh yeah, I shared with my
I've
never seen so many cookies. So it was pretty great. And thank you to the public for coming out, because this is what we're here for. It's not just our decision, it's your decision. I mean, we're only here to we're only here, we can only do our job as well as you let us, and as well as you inform us. So thank you for informing us, and thank you for letting us know what you think and what you need. So we really do appreciate that. So great.
And the Carriage Museum had a wonderful spread as well,
Yeah.
and events. So I mean, Sunday was just like the whole town. So.
Yeah. And
Wonderful.
I also like to thank the theater, because they were over there and they were prepared for us to move over there had it gotten later tonight. So we were just about, if we would have had another 10, difficult, but we would have made it work. They're very accommodating. So future agenda topics, anything for the council?
I had questions for LeMay. I don't know if anyone else did. So
LeMay will not be back. So if you have questions or comments for LeMay, you can reach out to LeMay directly. So, and if you don't know how to do that, you can reach out to me, and I can provide you Roger's direct email. So, and we're not taking any additional public comments, so.
Didn't you just ask for future agenda
That's
topics.
for the council.
Oh, okay, my apologies.
So yeah, if anybody wanted to reach out to LeMays, they can do that directly. Again, you can reach out to me and I will provide you their email address and you can contact them. But LeMays will not be back. LeMays has provided us with their proposal and their presentation. The rest is up to us. So thank you all. So if I hear no objections, I will call this meeting adjourned.
Yeah, I want to.
Recording stop.